Hey everyone, I'm Kelly and this is my channel, Kel Stitches. Welcome back to all of my returning subscribers, and hello and welcome to all of my new subscribers or anyone that has just happened to come across this video. I hope you enjoy what I have to show you. This channel is about all of my cross stitching and my addiction to collecting cross stitch patterns and supplies. Yes, they are two different hobbies. So today is Monday, September the 4th, 2023, and this is Flosstube number 32. I was meant to record a couple of weeks ago, and to be honest with you, I just couldn't have been bothered. I had other things to do, and by the time I got around to thinking about recording, it was too late, and yeah, I was just too tired to do it. So here I am. It is probably going to be a longer video again because I have both of my rotations to show you. Let's hope this video isn't the bloody schmozzle that the last one was, which I really apologize for. When I edited it, it was fine. And then something went skew-if in the processing and uploading to YouTube, and it ended up with about 20 minutes of just black screen at the end. So yeah, let's see if I can get my technological hat back on today and get this video uploaded correctly. Let's just leave it as that, shall we? Sorry, I've got something in my throat today. All right, let's just get into the stitching, shall we? And we'll get to the other stuff at the end of the video. So, first one I will show you is this one. It is called Adventured Weights, and it is a chart by an Etsy store, 2x2 cross stitch art. 2x2 stitch art, that's what it is. This is one in a series of 3. You can buy them individually, but I bought them as a series of 3. So yeah, that is what it will look like when it is finished. Now, there will be zippers, I haven't undone anything. I will put up a picture of where it was, and this is where we're up to. So there is not much left on this to go, just this white, this bit of white here. I'm not exactly sure of how many stitches it is, but hopefully a couple of good stitchy sessions and I will have this done. And then I can just finish it off and put it with the other one and then start on the third one. So yeah, that is where I'm up to with it. I stitched on this for 2 days and I got 1,100 stitches into it. But yeah, not long to go on it. Alright, my next one is, that I'm going to show you. Is this one? It's my advent calendar, and this is also from an Etsy store. What are they called? Hang on, got it written on my tag on my bag. Art Inspirate, the store is called. So that is what they look like. I'm not doing them in the square, I'm doing them all individually. I can't remember how many we were up to last time, but this is where we're up to now. So 15, I think I got 16, 17 and 18 done. I think I was halfway through 16 and I got 17 and 18 done. So if I can get a couple more, probably two more of these done this month, I'll be on track to having them all finished by the end of November, so then I can finish them off and hang them on my tree in December. Now, I stitched on that for 4 days and I got 1,180 stitches done. These are being stitched on just scrap bits of fabric that I dyed myself. It's 16 count Aida that I just dyed myself. Alrighty-o. Next one. Nope, didn't stitch on that one. Didn't stitch on that one. This one. Next one that I worked on, or will be showing you anyway, is this one. It is called Waterhole Masters and the artwork is by David Penfound and it is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So I am working in these zebras here. I'm going to get all of those completed and then move on from there, decide which animal or section that I'm going to work on after those zebras are done. That is what it will look like when it is finished. That's it. I'll put up a picture of where it was the last time we seen it. And this is where it's up to now. As you can see, I've filled in a fair bit more of those zebra stripes. I'm loving how these zebras are coming out. I don't know if I should say it, but I think this is my favorite project at the moment. I just want to keep stitching on it all the time, but I know if I'd done that, I'd stitch on it until it was completed and all these other projects wouldn't get done. And I do have some goals for myself for the other projects for this year, so that is not going to happen. I'm one of those people that when I set a goal, I am determined to get it done. Much to my detriment at times, I think. Okay, so for this, I stitched on it for 2 days and I got 1,100 stitches into it. And it is being stitched on 18 count Aida, plain white Aida. So yeah, that is what it's looking like. As I said, absolutely loving it. Stitches up very quickly. It's an absolute pleasure every time I pull it out to stitch on it. Alright, so the next one I am going to show you is this one. It is a mini top frog. The artwork is by Jodie Bergsma and it is also charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Now Darren from Dizzy Stitcher and Judy from An Aussie in a Kiwi World are also doing this one. They are both doing the max colour version though. And that is what it will look like when it is completed. I will put up a picture of where it was. And this is where we're at with it. So as you can see, I'm filling in more of the big froggy belly. I am working on the big bottom frog at the moment. I've decided to go down to the bottom of the pattern and go across and then work my way up either side. But yeah, that is looking pretty good. Loving the shine, how I managed to get the shine in the eyes for the frog. This is also stitching up pretty quickly at the moment because it's just, there's a little bit of like confetti around here, but all of this in here is just going to be bigger blocks of color, like 2 or 3 colors. And so it's going to, this page is going to stitch up relatively quickly. Stitched on this for 2 days and I got 1,400 stitches into it. And it is being worked on 16 count Aida. Oops. That wasn't meant to happen. Oh, come here. Lucky I put handles on my bags now. That was easier to grab than what I expected. Alright. And the next one that I am going to show you is this one. It is called Shaped Wolf. The artwork is by Greg Giordano, and it is also a Heaven and Earth Designs chart. So it is just the wolf. There is no background to this one. I am currently, well, I was working in here, but I have moved up to the back of the wolf here. So that is what it will look like when it is finished. I'm going to take this bottom Q snap off because I have moved upwards, but I need to show you the bottom where I finished. Alright, so a picture of where it was, and this is where I'm up to. So as you can see, I have finished off the bottom, finished off that bison down the bottom there. And I have moved up here. This is the back of the wolf. There is a few stitches in there, but they currently blend into the fabric. Once everything is stitched, it won't blend in. So yeah, that is where I have got to with this one. It is stitched on this for 3 days and I got 1,000 stitches into it. This is being worked on an 18 count hand dyed Aida that I obviously dyed myself. Yeah, it is going to be a big piece, as you can see all this bunched up fabric that I have got here. Yeah. But I am going to finish off up the top of the wolf, and then not sure where I'll move to. It'll be either side that I'll move. Don't know if I should go backwards and do the back of the wolf, his tail and all that, or should I go forwards and get his head and start working towards his head. Not sure. I mean, it's all got to be stitched eventually, doesn't it? So either way that I go, any way that I go, I'm going to have to go back the other way eventually. And so let me know where you would like to see me move with this once I've got that section done. Do you want to see me go towards the head of the wolf? I could go towards, because I'm stitching in here at the moment, So would you like to see me head up this way and do the front section of the wolf, or do you want to see me go this way and do the back section of the wolf? All right. There's that one. And the next one is this. It is Spirit Guides. Artwork is by Laurie Prindle, and this one is charted by Pain Free Crafts. Now that is what it will look like when it is finished. And I'll put a picture up of where it was last time we seen it. And this is where we're up to. I now have 2 eyes in Mr. Wolfie. So he is constantly looking at me while I am stitching. But look how good those eyes are. I've only got a little bit of this page to finish, and then I'll move across. I'm going to keep moving across to reach the left-hand side of the piece, and then I will just concentrate on the left half, and then I'll move and do the right half once I'm finished on that. So yeah, that is what it's looking like. This one is stitching up really quickly as well. I know I said Waterhole Masters was a favorite, but this one's coming in a close second for it. Stitches up very, very easily. This one does. So I worked on this for 2 days and I got 1,000 stitches into it. And yeah, looking brilliant it is. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Did anyone see the new horse chart that Nikki from Charting Creations released? Was it yesterday? A couple of days ago. Yes, I am in big trouble because apparently that artist has a whole series of those horse heads, and if Nikki is going to chart them all, I am in big trouble. I already have more stash past my expected lifetime anyway, so what's a few more charts and projects to add to that list? All right, so that is that lot of charts or whips. Let's move on to the next ones. Swap these around. All right. Oh, Spirit Guides is being stitched on what I thought was 18 count Ada, but I looked at it and I thought, when I was stitching on, I thought, no, those holes are like, those squares are way too big to be 18 count. Hang on, you doughy, what have you done here? Measured it, it's 16 count Ada that it's being stitched on. So I am just hoping that I have measured the bloody fabric properly. I will recalculate for 16 count, and once I have to move the Q-snap, once I finish that page, I will measure the whole fabric, just to put my mind at ease that it is going to fit on there. I mean, if I have to just cut off a little bit, say a 10 block or something right around that, I don't think that's going to affect the overall piece too much. I prefer not to, but if I have to cut off a little bit of the pattern to make it fit in, I will, because I mean, yes, I know you've got this here in the sky and what haven't you, but to me, obviously, the main thing is the horse with the wolf and the bison and all that in it. So once I measure it, I will have to make a decision. Hopefully I did measure correctly at the 16 count. And I just had a doughy blonde moment and wrote 18 count on my tag that's on the bag. Please God, let me have measured it correctly. So yeah, that was my doughy moment. Hopefully it is all good though. Okay, moving right on with the next lot of whips. Next rotation of whips. All right, so the next one I'm showing you is this one. It is a protector. The artwork is by Katie Lipscomb and it is a pain-free crafts chart. I have eliminated all of the white creamy background, so I am only doing the coloured wolves and this little bit down here. That is what it is going to look like once it is finished. And well, let me see if I can find it in here. There it is. I will put up a picture of where it was last time. And this is where I'm up to now. As you can see, I have finished off that section down there, all that page, all the pinks and everything, and I have moved up into this page. And that is the ear of the wolf that's howling, the outline of the ear of the wolf that's howling. I'm loving the way this one's stitching up, the colours in it's just amazing. Just there's all the colours in there that you could wish for. And this is being stitched on 16 count hand dyed Ada, or Ada that I dyed myself, in an appley green. And I worked on this for 3 days and I got 1,120 stitches into it. But yeah, this stitches up pretty well as well, which I've found with pain-free crafts charts. They stitch up very quickly. Of course, you're going to get the charts that have heaps of confetti in them, but these ones currently don't. So all right, this one is a mini Shaman. The artwork is by Laurie Prindle, and this is a Heaven and Earth Designs chart. I am currently working in this section here on the horse. So yeah, that's what it'll look like when it is finished. Picture of where it was the last time we seen it, and this is where we are up to on it. So as I said, this is the end of the chart, very edge of the chart here. So that is the blanket that is on the back of the horse. Obviously, being a mini, it has lost some detail, like this leather fringing and what haven't you here could be in more detail, but it's a mini. It's still got enough detail there for you to know what it is once it's all stitched up. So yeah, that's looking good. As I said before, I love how these greys, purples, blues that have gone into here make it look metallic and shiny, like the paint on the horse looks metallic and shiny. Yes, there are stitches missing there, but that's because I moved into that corner of that page because I was just going with that colour and I thought I might as well finish it, so that's what I've done. But yeah, once I'm done this, I will move up into this page and keep going. I think I am going to end up in Confetti Hell, in the feathers in the horse's mane, because that's generally what happens with things like that. This has been, I stitched on this for 2 days and I got 1,000 stitches on it. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. The next one is this one. It is called Daydream Sea Turtles, and the artwork is by Sheena Pike. The chart is by Charting Creations. And that is what it will look like when it is completed. And I am currently working in here on the edge of the pattern. So it's this little turtle's flipper, which seems extremely long for the size of the turtle. That flipper seems a little out of proportion, but anyway. So yeah, I'm working in this section here. And which bag is it? This one? No. This one. Now I will put up a picture of where it was the last time we happened to see it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where is the needle? It's not on there. Gonna have to find that in a second. I won't rest easy until I know where that needle is. Haven't put it in the side here. No. Anyway, this is a picture of where it was, and this is what it looks like now. So I stitched on this for 3 days and I got 1,000 stitches into it. I love the pattern. I'm just not enjoying this fabric because I didn't wash it before I started on it, so it's a little bit stiff. I am in the mind of taking it out of the Q-snap once I finish this page and throwing it in the washing machine to try and soften this fabric up a little bit. And I did not tell you what mini Shaman's being stitched on 16 count. Back to turtles. Yeah, so I'm thinking of throwing this in the machine and washing it to hopefully soften that fabric up a little bit, because it is very stiff at the moment. I know the more I work on it, the more, and fold it and what haven't you, the fabric, bloody hair, the fabric will soften up, but it's just, I don't know, I'm just not words, Kelly, I'm just not liking working on it at the moment because of the stiffness. I think because I've washed the fabric for Waterhole Masters and the fabric for a few of the others, and they've softened up nicely, that this is just making me crazy. And trying to find this needle is also making me crazy. Oh look, nope, that's just a bit of fluff. I thought it was a diamond from one of my diamond paintings, and I'm like, well, how the hell did that get in there? Oop. Oh well, I think I'll just have to look for another. I'll just have to get another needle when I start back on this project. I did not, did I? Because it is not on the end of my floss or on my needle winder on the back. Oh well, hopefully it is in the floss or something. It's not on the floor. Well, none of us have caught it with our feet yet, so that's a bonus. But hopefully it will surface. But I do have a lot of other needles to be able to just grab a new one. I have a needle on each project, so I'm not not swapping from needle from project to project. I have needles on every project, and I have a heap of spare needles, so if anything like that ever happens, I can just grab another one. All right, moving right along to the next one is Moonrise Song, the large version. This is a chart by Artisy Cross Stitch, and the artwork is by Abraham Hunter. So I have moved the Q-snap and I have moved upwards, and I'm working in this section of the mountain in there. And so that is what it'll look like when it is finished. Get out of there. Oh look, there it is. I was looking for that the other day to clip up the excess stitched section on my Tigers to keep it out of the road and for me to be able to sit it on my Gus stand properly, and I couldn't find it, so I grabbed a couple of little ones that I've been using, and my hair's sticking up like a bloody peacock. Right, mess today. Ooh, I was just about to say I have lost another needle, but I have not. This one I have put in the fabric because I finished the colour or the length of thread that I was using. Alright. I'll just wrangle all this excess fabric. I had so much fun putting it into the Q-snap. Not. Okay. Picture of where it was. And this is where I have got to with it. As I said, I am working in that mountain. Heading up the mountain, I am. So I stitched on this for 3 days and I got 1,300 stitches into it. And I don't think I told you the fabric that Daydream sea turtles was stitching on was stitched on, which is 16 count. Come on guys, you probably know me well enough by now that it'll either be 16 count or 18 count. So it's not like I have a whole range of size fabrics that I have to keep telling you. So 16 or 18 count, you all know that that's what it's going to be. All right, so yeah, this is where I'm up to with this one. Stitched on it for 3 days, got 1,300 stitches, and I think I already told you that. Hot Mess Express right here. But yeah, that is, you can see, because there is some white in there. Stitching white on white is always a lovely thing to do, isn't it? Yeah, but you can see some of those stitches, some of those white stitches in there. This is stitching up really quickly because it's only like half a dozen colours and there's not that much confetti in it. So it's stitching up pretty quick. But that's what it's looking like. And as I said, I had so much fun trying to get all of this fabric into the Q-snap well enough that I could sit it on my Gus stand. Of course, my Gus stand has two little knobs on the arms like that holds your Q-snap. But if you've got too much fabric, it doesn't sit on there properly. And obviously you don't want the fabric up behind there like that because you'll stitch it into your project. So I've got to sit it like that and have all this flapping around. Fun times, fun times. All right, this one, did I tell you? This one's being stitched on 16 count. And I know, now I've got to wrangle it to get it back in the project bag. I know Darren and Alara have been trying to encourage me to try out 25 count, but guys, I don't think it's ever going to happen. I'm happy stitching on my 16 and 18 count. And I know a few of you have said that I have encouraged you to try 18 count, and you're quite happy with it. So yeah, I mean, we can't all want to stitch on the, yes, we can't all want to stitch on the smaller counts. We've got to do what is comfortable for us and what we're happy with. I just think, I know my eyesight, and I just think 25 count is not going to be very conducive to my eyesight. All right, one more, oh no, two more projects that I stitched on. Next, this one is Bengal Tigers 2. It is a chart by Just Stitching. It is an eBay company. Well, I think they're still on eBay. I don't know who the artist is. The mother-in-law bought me this chart, so I just stitched it. Already had it all kitted up and everything, so I just thought, bugger it, I'm just going to stitch it. So I am working on the very last page, which is this section here. I think I've only got two colors left, which is about 1,400 stitches. So fingers crossed, next month, if I put in a couple of really good days, I will have this finished. Picture of where it was, and this is where I'm up to with it now. It's better. Oh, that might be better. You can actually see where I've stitched. Oh, yeah, and that is still connected. Sorry for the hanging thread if anyone doesn't like hanging threads. But yeah, that is where I'm up to with it. This is being stitched on a 16 count Aida using CXC floss. All of my projects are using CXC floss except for some of them that have old DMC from my stash, or the newer DMC numbers like the 1 to 35, 38, whatever it is, those numbers I get in DMC. But yeah, the finish line is in sight. I worked on this for 2 days and I got 1,400 stitches into it. So, as I said, I think there's about 1,400 stitches. And again, looking at that, that's probably more than 1,400 stitches. Can't tell you exactly how many stitches are left in it because PK is on my tablet and that is what I use to record on. But yeah, that is nearly finished. Nearly finished. Definitely have it done by the end of the year, even if I have to steal a day off one of my other projects next month to be able to finish this one next month. And that'll be, I think, 2 years that I've been working on that, but not solely, not monogamously. 2 years of working on several other projects as well. The last one that I will show you is this one. I call it Tribal Wolf. I don't think it actually has a name. This is a design by the 2x2 Stitch Art, which is an Etsy store. So that is what it'll look like when it is finished. And put a picture in of where it was up to. And this is what it looks like now. Oh my god. There we go. So, yeah. So, as you can see, I have done these stars and circles and whatever else, and come over here to finish the side of the wolf, on top of the wolf's head, like his ear and stuff like that. And then I'll move up here and do the border, and then I'll move the nudge. I am loving the nudge frames actually. I am considering buying a heap of them in this size and in the bigger size to change them all out. They're lighter, they're thinner, they're easier to get all your fabric into, and they sit better on my gust stand. So I will probably eventually swap them all out for nudge frames. But yeah, that is where this one is up to. I stitched on it last night, so one day, and I got 450 stitches into it. I was so tired last night from the weekend, which I will discuss in life update. So yeah, that is what it's looking like. Looking good. I think I'm about 40% through it. I didn't stitch on it at all last month. If things start to settle down a little bit, and I can start getting my normal stitching days back on it, I should be pretty close to a finish by the end of the year. We've still got, what are we, September? 4 months. We've still got 4 months, so I think it might be doable. Especially if I finish Tigers, because if I finish Tigers, I'm not going to put in a new start. I'm just going to use those 2 days from stitching that I was stitching on Tigers for. I'll just use those to get more progress on some of my others. Maybe this one, maybe get that out of the road, so then I can have a couple of new starts for the new year. 2x2 stitch art, yep, I already said that. That is being stitched on 14 count dyed Ada from Paddock Lane Designs. All right, and that is all my stitching. Altogether, I done 13,050 stitches for those 2 rotations. Don't know how many days I worked on for that, because some days I worked on 2 projects in the day. Like I finished off 200 stitches to get to the 1,000 or whatever for my bigger projects, and then moved on to my next one. Some stats. August, I managed to get 15,540 stitches done for all of August, and I worked on 29 days. There was only 2 days that I didn't stitch in August, but some days I'd done very, very small stitch counts. Like looking at this, one day I only done 140 in the day. That was probably a day that I was having to work, and then I came home really late, and yeah, just managed to get 140 stitches in before I dropped into bed. And all up so far for the year, so for the 8 months, I have done 131,560 stitches. Now, if you can remember from my whip parade at the start of the year that also had my plans and my goals in it, I did say I wanted to get 200,000 stitches overall for the year. I think I calculated it out the other night, and that for the next 4 months I've got to do about 17,500 stitches a month to hit that 200,000 stitch goal. It's doable. It is doable. I've just got to push myself a little bit on the nights that I probably don't really feel like it. It is doable, but it also comes down to work as well. How many night shifts that I have to do, which of course, if I work a double shift, it is not going to, if I have to work day and night, I'm not going to stitch that day. So, but we'll see how I go. I'll get pretty close, I think. But as I said earlier in the video, I am one of those people that needs to, if I set myself a goal, I need to achieve it, or I just feel really, really down. Not that you should, but I mean, it's all meant to be in fun, but yeah. All right, guys, so I will give you, I've got a little bit of haul, and a life update. All right, so haul is, I don't have much because, as I explained before, we are currently in drought here in my region. We've just come out of winter. It is the 4th day of spring for us. So we've just come out of winter. It was an extremely mild and dry winter. I mean, we usually have, winter usually is our dry period, but we still get some type of rain through winter, where we basically had none. And so my region has been drought declared, and I am having to spend exorbitant amounts on hay for my horses, so all my spare money is going to that. Any haul that I get probably from now to Christmas is going to be ones that have already been put in place. So like my monthly color of the month through Silks for You, that's just a monthly payment that comes out every month that I have budgeted for. And my Crystal Club through Pain Free Crafts, that is also a monthly payment that I have budgeted for, and it just comes out of the bank. So they're already been paid and done for. And there's an Advent bag that I'm getting from Sharon, who is Fun with Cross Stitch. I already paid for that at the start of the year, paid for it in full. Then there is my seasons from Silks for You. I've already budgeted for that, so I don't have to worry about that. And then, of course, I am also doing the 14 days of Christmas, 12 days of Christmas, whatever it is, from Silks for You, which I've already budgeted for that. So there's not going to be too many excess things that are going to be in my haul, because I have had to tighten the reins a little bit to be able to feed my horses. But that's what you do. Plus the economy here in Australia is shit at the moment. Being in hospitality, we are not a necessity at all. We are a luxury item, being a cafe. So if people are going to tighten their budgets and tighten things down, going out for lunch, breakfast or lunch, is one of those things that they will stop doing. Instead of going out 2 or 3 times a week, they will cut it down to once a week. So yeah, anyway, my haul for this month, or this time around, is I got my crystal. I finally decided on my crystal club kit, and I chose this one, which is Tiger Lily by Laurie Prindle, and obviously it is chartered by Pain Free Crafts. Absolutely love this one. Yes, I could have chose another horse design from Laurie Prindle, but I thought do something different, because horses and wolves is everything that you've got. But yeah, so I went with this one. I do love this one, and everything's in there. Got it on 18 count. Sent a organza bag with it to keep all the threads and everything in as a project bag, so that is going to come in handy. And because Sarah is a stockist of Nerge, and I have looked around here in Australia for a stockist of Nerge, and they are expensive here in Australia. Sarah's are cheaper, even with the conversion rate from Australian dollars to pounds. So I got myself 2 bigger frames for my face. No, 2 bigger Nerge. These are the 10 by 11 inch. So I am going to give these a go, see how tight they hold my fabric. If I like them. I like the littler ones, the 7 by 8s, I think they are. The 7 by 8s hold the fabric perfectly, nice and tight, and yeah. So I'll see how tight I can get my fabric in these suckers. And as I said, if I can get my fabric tight enough, I will be buying more of them. I'll just wait until my crystal club every 6 months is due, and I will just buy a couple of Nerge hoops every time my crystal club comes in. And then that way, eventually, I will probably swap everything out to Nerge. Unless I can find someone in Australia that is nearly the same price as what I pay for those ones. But yeah, so that is all my haul. That is all the haul that I've got for this month, or this video anyway. I know that I think next year, I know Judy from An Aussie and a Kiwi World, she hit a few of us up on chat about doing a Saga Sale, the long dog samplers. Everyone's probably seen the Saga, new Saga pattern that has come out. It is a monster. For a sampler, it is a monster. it is like 150,000 stitches. So, I mean, for those of us that do full coverage, we sort of go, oh, that's nothing. It's like a small full coverage. But for a sampler, it is a monster. And Judy was saying about, oh, does anyone want to start a sale? And I said, yes, I would love to do it. I'm hoping to have Sans Souci finished by the start of the year, like the new year. So hoping to have it done so then I can start a new long dog. I do have others already kitted up, but I really do love Saga. So I'm going to dye some fabric. I'm going to test some pieces. I've been tossing up. I don't know whether to go black fabric with sunset colors like your oranges, pinks, purples, browns on a black fabric, or if I go sunset colors on the fabric. So as I said, your oranges, your reds, your pinks, your purples on the fabric, and just use black silk. Trying to decide what I want to do, because I do just, because most of my long dogs have already been multicolored, I would like to do one that's just monochromatic. So I am leaning more towards the colored fabric with black silk, or black floss, I should say. I probably will go Silks For You, black silks from Silks For You. But yeah, that is what I am leaning more towards, is that way, just to do a monochromatic one. But as I said to Judy, I would love to do a sale for it with you, but it won't be until the new year, until I can get a little bit of spare money to buy the pattern and buy the floss. So I think that's when we'll be starting it, sometime in the new year, maybe New Year's Day. I don't know. We haven't exactly nutted it out, but if anyone wants to join us in that sale, you're quite welcome. I'm sure Judy and I will talk between ourselves and get it out on some of our videos closer to the time, if we're going to be using hashtag or anything like that. And I think I have to talk to Case, but I think Case from Jeep Girl Stitches, I think we were going to start a sale with the Heaven and Earth's tiger that I bought there a while back. Have to double check that with her before we put anything into concrete plans as well. So next year, everyone's talking about already plans for next year. I've got no plans for next year except for maybe those 2 sales. Hopefully I'll have a few finishes by the end of the year, so I can just slot those new starts in there. If not, I may reach those 20 whips yet, Darren. But yeah, so I really have no plans. I don't think I'm going to set myself any goals or anything for next year. I am just going to stitch. It keeps the stress out of it. It keeps, yeah, it's just easy not to set any goals, because, as I said, you don't stress about, I've got to reach this goal. Even though I know you guys won't be disappointed, but I'll be disappointed in myself for not reaching the goals. So yeah, I think next year I am just going to stitch what I like, when I like, how I like. I think that's a good plan. But that could change in the next 4 months as well. Who knows what I get encouraged to do. So yeah, that is stitching and plans. So if that is all you were here for, thanks for sticking around. If you want to bounce now, thank you very much. I'll see you next time. If you want to stick around for a quick life update, then feel free. So into life update. Work has still been a little bit up and down. As I said, we are a luxury more than a necessity, but we still have had functions and everything that have been previously booked in, so been working those. Haven't done too many double shifts in the last month, but I have done long days because co-worker took some time off, so I had to cover her shifts, and we only had a couple of juniors on with me, which meant I had to stay right through to close and all that sort of stuff. So I have been long days, but I'll get through it. Especially in this economy, I'll take any extra shifts that I can get because I need the money for the horses. But yeah, so, and just doing normal things with looking after the horses. The daughter was up on the weekend again, so I didn't stitch for a couple of nights. Father's Day was yesterday here in Australia. Yes, it is Monday, so yesterday was Father's Day, Sunday here in Australia. So it was a busy day at work again, and we had quite a few booked in. And I was just totally exhausted over the weekend because I worked all weekend. I didn't have the days to spend with my daughter, so when I got home, we talked and laughed and had a few drinks and a chat, and I stayed up past my bedtime, which I wouldn't usually do on a work night, but she was home, so yeah, I thought I'd spend a bit of time with her. So I was kind of exhausted last night. I could barely keep my eyes open. I know because it was Father's Day, we ordered takeout and we were waiting for it to arrive, and it was about 20 minutes late from the time that I ordered it for. So I'm waiting, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I am going to have to ring this mob and say, look, are you delivering my food or not? Because it is getting later. You close at 9 o'clock, like that's in half an hour. Where's my food? But it eventually arrived, so yeah. But I know I was sitting on the lounge stitching, waiting for the takeout to arrive, and I could feel my eyes just drifting closed. I know I had to rewatch. I watched Darren's video on Saturday night when I got home, and had a shower and that, and the daughter was out on the back veranda with the partner, with her dad, having a drink and a chat, and I was sitting on the lounge, and I thought, oh bugger it, Darren's video's only short, I can get through this. But I think I might have fell asleep halfway through it. Sorry, Darren. It's not that you're boring, it's just that your voice is so soothing that it sent me to sleep because I was so tired. So I had to rewatch Darren's video last night. And then I was watching Alara's, and I'm sitting on the lounge stitching, waiting for the takeout, listening to Alara through my earphones, and I could feel my eyes closing, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Like, you can't sit on the lounge, be listening to something and stitching and still going to sleep. So lucky the food arrived and I had something to eat. Sort of woke me up a little bit. So then I went and done a bit more stitching, and did I finish Alara's video? Yes, I did. I finished off Alara's video. So, achievement there. But yeah, that's pretty much all my life update. September's looking pretty quiet at work. I don't think we have anything major going on at work. There is a few night functions, but it's here and there. It's not like drastic heaps of them. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything major going on at work, so hopefully my stitching can pick up a little bit. Now, I know Margaret asked if I could put in a few more videos or pictures of my horses, and I have taken a few more pictures and one video of two of my mares. It was one afternoon that they were super excited at for being fed, and they were running around like lunatics while the partner and the son were getting their feed ready, and I walked out with my camera and yelled at them, and then they stopped. So I did get a short video of that, which I will put in at the end. But yeah, it was kind of funny because I yelled and I was like, "Charm, settle down." And she's looked at me and she's ran straight at me. As you'll see in the video, she's ran straight at me. I was on the other side of the fence. She ran straight at me and passed and stopped like, oh, okay, Mum's there, I better behave myself. And then she took off again. So they do listen, but then they don't listen. So I will put that in at the end of the video, or once I sign off. And then there's a couple of photos of my stallion laying down, having a snooze. As you will see in his pad, well, as you will see in the video, the dust flying. We've got no ground cover, no grass cover, so it is very dry. The dust is just flying. A couple of pics of my stallion laying down, and then I will add a couple of pics of my two mares, another two of my mares, and the big 8x4 by 4 foot bale of hay that we put out for them, and them standing around it, having a bit of a go at it. So I'll put them in at the end. All right, I am not going to say when my next video will be, because the last 2 or 3 times that I have attempted to go, well, my video will be in 2 weeks time, and it has not been in 2 weeks time, it's been 4 weeks time. So I am not going to do that, because who knows what will happen. Fingers crossed that it will be in 2 weeks time, but I'm not guaranteeing anything, because it very well may not be. So guys, I am going to leave it there. I am going to say thank you once again for coming and joining me, or watching what I have to show you, watching my progress on my projects and whips, catching up with me. I know I haven't replied. I've hearted all the comments from the last video, but I haven't replied to them. I will, once I finish this, I will make myself a cup of tea and I'll sit down and reply to all those comments from my last video. Very sorry about that. I have to get back to replying when I read it, because otherwise I read it and then I heart it and then I kind of forget that I've got to go back and reply. So I have to get back into the habit of replying once I've read it. So yeah, that's it guys. I am signing off. So thank you very much for stopping in. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You can always hit that little bell that will inform you of when I post another video. And please, wherever you are in the world, please take care and stay safe. Until next time, bye.